Wally. Sure does look confusing.
Well, it's not that bad. I just been thinking.
What could you possibly be thinking about?
I just been thinking about office expectations. I mean, there's so many different offices. Are the expectations the same in every office? How am I supposed to know?
Mom and Dad might be really helpful in a situation like this.
Welcome to another edition of Leave It to the Raider. This week's episode, Offices, How to Be Safe, Respectful, and Responsible.
Well, hey, Raider. Hey, Wally. My, you sure look busy over there.
Yes, Wally, what seems to be on your mind?
It's these office expectations. I'm not sure I know what's going on.
Well, they're easy enough, Wally. I mean, you just gotta break it down into its simple parts. It's all about being safe, respectful, and responsible. Back in my day, it would have been nice to know it's so easy.
What makes you say that? You didn't know what to do in the office?
Not at all.
Oh!
You see, Wally, we didn't always know what to do in the office, but you do.
Well, I understand safe, respectful, responsible, but how's that look in the office?
Well, it's different now.
Like peanut butter and jelly?
Not sandwich spreads. Offices. We didn't all know we needed to sit appropriately in chairs, keep our hands and feet to ourselves, and follow the office procedures. Times sure were different. Almost seemed no one knew how to use a chair.
What?
They had a hard time keeping their hands and feet to themselves, and they didn't always follow office procedures.
But they're not that hard to follow.
But that's what actually happened.
Do you think I can follow office expectations?
It could be tough, but you need to remember what it means to be safe in the office. Sit appropriately in chairs, keep your hands and feet to yourself, and follow the office procedures. I can already imagine a future where young raiders sit appropriately in the chairs.
I could do that.
Sure can, and these young raiders even keep their hands and feet to themselves.
Seems easy to me.
And they follow all office procedures.
Well, dear, don't you think it's also important to be incredibly respectful in our school's offices?
Yep, and I'm getting to it. I remember how hard it was for us to remember to be respectful in our offices. It was hard to remember to use our inside voices, wait our turn, and knock before entering closed office doors. People were so loud, even when they were already in trouble. They especially had a hard time waiting their turn.
Holy smokes!
They also barged in on important office meetings.
Get them out of there!
Now, these things really did happen, but you too can follow the office expectations as long as you remember what it means to be respectful in our school's offices. You just need to remember that a respectful raider uses an inside voice, waits their turn, and they knock before entering closed office doors. I dream of a future where young raiders use inside voices, patiently wait their turn, and knock before entering closed office doors so they can meet with those adults that they need to.
That's a future I want to be a part of.
And you can, as long as you remember to be safe and respectful.
I think now would be a fine time to tell them why it's important to also be responsible in our school's offices.
Well, I'm getting to that point.
Responsible's for the birds.
It's actually kind of important. You need to keep information private, pick up after yourself, and be polite and use manners. When I was in school, it was totally different. It seemed information was never private, that other students couldn't pick up after themselves.
What pigs?
Agreed. And they didn't use manners.
That would drive me crazy.
That's why it's important to remember to be responsible in our school's offices. We have so many, it just wouldn't work if we weren't responsible.
And if they can't get their work done, you can't either.
Boy, Pops, do you really think I could do it? I mean, be responsible in all in our offices?
I do. Just remember to keep information private, pick up after yourself, and be polite and use manners. I already imagine a future where it's easy for young raiders to keep information private. They pick up after themselves, and they're polite and use manners.
That sounds real special.
It really is if you think about it, young raider. Really.
Could I do well in the office?
Well, certainly. And you too, Wally. Just don't forget to always be safe, respectful, and responsible.
Boy, now that I know office expectations, why don't we go get my driver's license?
Thanks for watching Leave It to the Raider. This week's episode has been Officers, How to Be Safe, Respectful, and Responsible. And as always, we remind you to be safe, respectful, and responsible in all environments.